There comes a moment in every life when the heart feels stretched between longing and destiny, when the soul senses that something unseen is moving, rearranging, preparing, guiding. And right now, as you listen, something within you already knows that God is doing more than you can understand. Something within you already feels that God is moving you towards someone who has been prepared for you long before you ever imagined connection, long before you ever cried out for companionship, long before you ever wondered if you were meant to walk alone. There is someone whose heart already recognizes yours, someone whose soul has already been shaped to love you, support you, strengthen you, and walk with you. And as you hear these words, your spirit knows God is leading you toward them with purpose, precision, and divine timing. You may think you found this message by chance, but nothing guided by God is accidental. When God wants to awaken your spirit, He orchestrates moments like this. Moments where you feel seen, moments where your hidden questions are answered, moments where your silent battles are acknowledged. When God prepares to shift your life, He stirs your heart in ways you cannot ignore. And if your heart has been restless lately, if your mind has been searching, if your soul has felt the pull of something greater, it is because God is aligning you with someone who already carries genuine love for you. Love that is pure, love that is steady, love that is sent by God Himself. There have been seasons where you tolerated people who did not see your value. Seasons where you gave more than you received. Seasons where you waited for others to appreciate your presence while they only valued your absence. But God does not allow pain without purpose, and God does not allow rejection without replacement. You were not overlooked. You were being redirected. Every person who walked away was part of God's plan to lead you towards someone who will never take you for granted. Every door that closed was preparing you for a door that will open effortlessly. Every tear you cried was watering the soil of your future. You are not behind. You are being positioned. You are not alone. You are being prepared. When God leads you to someone who already loves you, there is no confusion, no fear, no guessing, no emotional instability. God does not guide you into relationships that drain you. He guides you into connections that strengthen you. God does not place you in the hands of those who mishandle your heart. He places you with someone who protects it. God does not lead you toward emotional chaos. He leads you toward emotional clarity. And if you have lived through the storms of broken relationships, misunderstandings, disappointments, and betrayals, then understand this: you have survived those experiences because they were not your destination. They were simply detours on your way to the person God designed to love you the right way. Many people believe that love must be earned through suffering, proven through pain, or secured through constant effort. But when God prepares someone for you, they will love you naturally, not conditionally. They will love you because God placed that love inside them. You will not have to convince them of your worth because God already revealed your worth to their spirit. You will not have to fight for their attention because God already tuned their heart toward yours. You will not have to beg for their loyalty because the loyalty God plants is unwavering. You will not have to fear abandonment because what God joins, God sustains. You may not realize it, but while you were healing, God was preparing someone to value that healing. While you were growing, God was preparing someone who would grow with you. While you were learning to stand alone, God was preparing someone who would stand beside you. This is why God allowed seasons of isolation, not to punish you, but to protect you from premature attachments. You were not meant to give your heart to those who were not prepared to carry it. You were not meant to settle for half love or temporary affection. God needed you to walk alone for a while so you could understand the difference between companionship and divine connection. And now God is shifting your life, quietly, gently, intentionally. God is guiding your steps towards someone who already loves you. Not someone who will learn to love you, not someone who will try to love you, not someone who will eventually love you, someone who already does. Someone whose spirit recognizes your spirit. Someone who has been waiting, praying, and preparing, even without knowing your name. Someone whose life has also been shaped by their own seasons of heartbreak, growth, and transformation. Someone who has been refined by God in ways that perfectly complement your journey. God is not giving you just a partner. God is giving you alignment. When God leads two hearts together, nothing can stop it. Not timing, not distance, not past pain, not fear, not uncertainty, because divine connection is not built on human desire. It is built on God's orchestration. And when God orchestrates something, every detail aligns, hearts align, timing aligns, paths align, purpose aligns. Conversations flow naturally. Silence feels safe. Vulnerability becomes strength. Support becomes effortless. And love becomes a place of refuge, not a source of turmoil. Some of you listening right now have carried a quiet fear that maybe you are not meant to be loved deeply. You learn to be strong alone. You learn to comfort yourself. You learn to build walls so high that even your own emotions struggle to climb them. You learn to expect disappointment because disappointment came often. But hear this with conviction. God is rewriting your story. God is restoring your heart. God is about to show you that you are worthy of a love that is peaceful, steady, and secure. Not a love that drains you, one that fills you. Not a love that confuses you, one that clarifies you. Not a love that hurts you, one that heals you. God is guiding you towards someone who will speak life into your spirit, someone who will celebrate your growth, someone who will stand by you in adversity, someone who will honor your presence with gratitude, someone who will look at you and see not just who you are, but who you are becoming. Someone whose heart has already been shaped by God to be a safe place for your soul. Someone who will not compete with your calling, but complement it. Not weaken your faith, but strengthen it. Not distract you from God, but draw you closer to Him. You have prayed for love, but God has been preparing someone to love you in ways you never imagined. You have asked God for companionship, but God has been shaping someone who will walk with you in purpose. You have asked for understanding, but God has been molding someone whose empathy will reach the deepest parts of your heart. And when the moment comes, it will not feel forced. It will feel guided. It will feel peaceful. It will feel different from anything you have experienced, because this time it is not built on emotion alone. It is built on God's intention. When God leads you to this person, you will understand why the past had to happen the way it did. You will understand why certain people walked out. You will understand why certain relationships collapsed. You will understand why God said no to people you thought were right for you. You will understand why the waiting season was so long. Because when God finally reveals the person who already loves you, every wound will make sense, every delay will feel purposeful, and every lonely night will feel like a stepping stone toward divine alignment. There comes a point in your journey when God begins to whisper to your heart in ways you can no longer ignore. It isn't a voice of confusion, nor a voice of pressure. It is a steady, calm pull in your spirit. A pull that says, prepare yourself. Something is coming. Someone is coming. And though you may not see it yet, something inside you senses that God is aligning your path with a heart that has already been softened toward you, a soul that has already been drawn toward you, a love that has already been planted with intention. God does not introduce people at random. God introduces people by purpose. And the one you are being led toward carries a purpose that intertwines with your own. Many people misunderstand divine connections. They think God reveals them suddenly, but the truth is that God works on the heart long before the connection becomes visible. God prepares, shapes, refines, and redirects both individuals until they are ready to recognize what He has already established. And right now, God is preparing you to walk into a bond you will not have to question, a bond you will not have to chase, a bond that responds to you with the same sincerity, depth, and clarity that you bring. For too long you have tried to force love into places where it did not belong. For too long you have attempted to breathe life into relationships God never designed for your future. But now, God is guiding your heart towards someone who already holds love for you, even if neither of you has taken the first step yet. This is why God pulled you out of certain relationships without explanation. This is why the people you thought would stay could not walk with you into your next chapter. This is why your spirit began feeling disconnected from those who once felt familiar. God was cleansing your path. God was clearing the noise. God was removing distractions that would have blinded you from recognizing the one who is meant to love you with a heart aligned with His will. You were never being abandoned. You were being protected. You were never being rejected. You were being refined. Everything that left was preparing space for what God is sending. Love that is pure love. Loyalty that is unwavering. Connection that is blessed. And understand this, when God leads someone toward you, He aligns their heart long before He aligns your meeting. They may not know your name yet, but they feel the absence of someone they have not met. They may not know your face, but they feel a yearning that only your presence will satisfy. They may not know what awaits them, but their heart is being conditioned to receive you. God is molding their character, shaping their strength, purifying their intentions, and increasing their wisdom. God is preparing someone who will not only understand your worth, but will protect it, honor it, and cherish it as a sacred gift. This is not ordinary affection. This is divinely orchestrated love. Some of you have wondered why your heart still believes in love despite the pain you have endured. You questioned why your spirit still hopes. You questioned why your soul still desires connection. It is because God placed that desire inside you, not to torment you, but to lead you. The longing for genuine love is a sign that your season of divine connection is near. The heart does not crave what it can never receive. It craves what God has already prepared. That yearning you feel is not desperation. It is spiritual confirmation. It is the quiet announcement that God is leading you toward what belongs to you. Stand in this truth. When God sends someone into your life, their presence will not stir anxiety, it will calm it. Their character will not drain you, it will elevate you. Their intentions will not confuse you, they will clarify you. Their love will not feel like a burden, it will feel like home. Because when God aligns two hearts, confusion cannot survive, fear cannot dominate, doubt cannot overpower. Divinely guided love removes uncertainty, for God does not unite hearts in chaos, He unites them in peace. You are walking into a season where God is restoring what loneliness tried to steal. A season where God is healing what heartbreak tried to break. A season where God is strengthening what pain tried to weaken. You will no longer cling to people who cannot value you. You will no longer chase connections that do not see you. You will no longer shrink yourself to be tolerated. You will no longer hide your soul to be accepted. God is lifting you into a relationship where your authenticity will be celebrated, where your vulnerability will be honored, where your growth will be supported. Do not mistake silence for inactivity. God works most powerfully in hidden seasons. And right now, God is doing a hidden work in both your life and the life of the one who is coming. God is making sure both hearts are healed enough to love deeply, wise enough to love correctly, and spiritually prepared to love consistently. God is not sending you someone who will play with your emotions. God is sending you someone who will protect them. God is not sending someone who will force you to question your worth. God is sending someone who sees your worth without being told. God is not sending someone who will repeat your past. God is sending someone who will honor your future. What is coming is not rushed. What is coming is not fragile. What is coming is not temporary. What is coming is rooted in God's timing, strengthened by God's preparation, and sustained by God's blessing. And because God is the author of this connection, no human force can break it, no circumstance can disrupt it, no past pain can sabotage it. God is guiding you towards someone whose heart has been preserved for you. The person you are being led toward has been shaped through their own trials. They have cried their own tears, endured their own storms, and overcome their own battles. Their strength has been built through struggle. Their compassion, H, has been deepened through heartbreak. Their faith has been strengthened through endurance. God was preparing them for you while preparing you for them. Two stories written separately, now moving toward the point where God will intertwine them with purpose. This is why you must not fear the future. This is why you must not let past pain define your expectations. This is why you must not assume that the next chapter will resemble the old. God is not recycling your past. God is redeeming your future. You are walking into something that carries God's signature, not human manipulation. You are approaching a connection built on sincerity, not pretense, on truth, not illusion, on devotion, not inconsistency. And hear this clearly. The love God is leading you toward will not compete with your purpose. It will magnify it. It will not weaken your faith. It will anchor it. It will not distract you. It will align you. It will not drain you. It will nourish you. You are stepping into a partnership where hearts will move in harmony, because God aligned them long before they ever met. There comes a time when God begins to reveal the truth behind your loneliness, the meaning behind your longing, and the purpose behind your waiting. You may have thought you were simply surviving a season of isolation, but God was using that season to strengthen your discernment. God was refining your vision so you would recognize the right soul when it appears. God was training your heart to distinguish between temporary affection and spiritually aligned love. And now that your heart has matured, God is ready to lead you towards someone whose soul has been prepared to meet the depth within you. There is a sacred kind of connection that only God can orchestrate, one where two hearts feel drawn to each other with an unexplainable sense of familiarity. Not because of shared experiences, not because of ace-level attraction, but because God infused the love before the meeting ever took place. God has been crafting this story from angles you cannot yet see. The person you are being led toward has been shaped by moments in their own journey that mirror your path in ways you will only understand later. God uses pain to polish souls that are meant to recognize one another. God uses trials to sharpen hearts that will one day align. And though neither of you realized it, God has been preparing both sides of this story with unmatched precision. There are people who were never meant to understand your depth because their hearts were never designed to hold the magnitude of your spirit. That is why so many connections felt fragile. That is why so many relationships collapsed under the weight of misunderstanding. That is why your soul outgrew certain environments. You were not too much. Your spirit was simply being saved for a heart God destined to match your strength. When God prepares someone for you, they will not be intimidated by your sensitivity or overwhelmed by your depth. They will appreciate your mind, value your spirit, and honor your emotional truth. They will not shrink from your growth. They will rise to meet it. They will not fear your honesty. They will embrace it. They will not resent your calling. They will support it. Sometimes the love that is meant for you does not come through loud declarations or dramatic entrances. Sometimes it arrives quietly, naturally, in a way that feels both unexpected and inevitable. This is how God works, subtly guiding hearts without forcing their steps. God allows the right souls to cross paths at the right time, and when the moment is right, everything falls into place with a kind of ease that feels almost miraculous. Not because it is perfect, but because it is God-led. And anything God leads becomes smoother, clearer, and stronger than anything you tried to build on your own. You may wonder why the love God is preparing for you has not appeared yet. But divine timing is never premature. God reveals the right person when both hearts can handle the blessing, not just desire it. Your future partner may have been walking through their own season of growth. Perhaps they needed to let go of old wounds. Perhaps they needed to outgrow past insecurities. Perhaps they needed to discover the strength within them that matches the strength within you. God never brings two unprepared hearts together. He aligns two refined souls so the connection can last, and the love God is guiding you toward will last, not temporarily, not conditionally, not inconsistently. This love will carry the weight of commitment, because commitment is not frightening to hearts grounded in God. This love will create stability, because stability is natural to souls aligned with divine purpose. This love will offer sincerity, because sincerity is effortless for hearts molded by God's hands. This love will bring peace, because peace is the signature of God's involvement. You may not realize it now, but the love that is coming your way has been forming long before you prayed for companionship. You are walking towards someone who has cried for clarity, someone who has pleaded for peace, someone who has battled loneliness, someone who has asked God to guide them toward a connection grounded in truth. And God has heard both your prayers and theirs. God has seen your tears and theirs. God has watched your struggles and theirs. And now God is preparing to bring two souls, strengthened by their own journeys, into a bond that honors His wisdom. The person you are being led toward will not only love you, they will understand you. They will understand the way your mind works, the way your heart feels, the way your spirit moves. They will sense when you need comfort. They will notice the things others overlooked. They will appreciate the qualities others dismissed. They will celebrate the progress others ignored. This is what happens when God plants love. It grows with understanding, blooms with support, and flourishes with patience. And God is leading you into a connection where you will feel safe enough to open your heart again, safe enough to dream again, safe enough to trust again, because love that comes from God does not trigger fear, it dissolves it. Love that comes from God does not create tension, it restores peace. Love that comes from God does not bring uncertainty, it brings conviction. When God aligns your heart with another, it is not your mind that convinces you, it is your spirit that knows. Some of you have spent years trying to rationalize your longing for companionship. But what you call a longing is actually a divine signal. It is not weakness, it is direction. It is not emptiness, it is readiness. God is letting you feel the pull towards someone because your timeline is shifting. You are moving from waiting to preparing, from preparing to aligning, from aligning to receiving. God does not awaken desire for no reason. God awakens it when the activation of destiny is near. And hear this truth with every part of your soul. You are not difficult to love. You are simply waiting for someone equipped to love you as God intended. Someone who will not fear the depth of your heart but cherish it. Someone who will not misuse your loyalty but honor it. Someone who will not silence your emotions but listen to them with compassion. You are being guided toward someone whose presence will feel like clarity, whose words will feel like comfort, whose loyalty will feel like consistency. You are being led towards someone whose love will not demand that you shrink yourself, but will inspire you to grow into the full version of who God created you to be. And in ways you do not yet see, the path toward them is opening. In ways you cannot explain, your spirit is awakening. In ways that are beyond your control, God is orchestrating a connection that has already been written into your story. There comes a moment, an undeniable, unshakable moment, when your heart must decide whether it will continue living on the level of its wounds or rise to the level of God's calling. And as you stand here in this moment, listening with the deepest part of your spirit, you already know God is urging you to rise. God is urging you to step out of the shadows of old pain and into the light of the future He has prepared. God is urging you to release the versions of yourself shaped by disappointment so you can embrace the version shaped by His wisdom. God is calling you to stop doubting the worth He placed inside you and to step boldly into the destiny He has already marked as yours. This is your turning point. Not tomorrow, not next season, now. because God is guiding you toward a connection that requires your whole heart, not the fractured pieces you once offered to those who did not value them. God is asking you to prepare, to strengthen, to elevate your spirit so you can receive what He is sending. Do not let old wounds make you blind to new blessings. Do not let fear silence the voice within you that knows God has more for your life. Do not let the memories of those who mishandled you convince you that you are unworthy of a love that God Himself has ordained. God is leading you towards someone who already loves you, someone who will honor the journey you fought to survive, someone whose soul mirrors the depth of your own. But for you to embrace them fully, you must first embrace the person God is shaping you into. So examine your life, examine your patterns, your habits, your fears, your expectations. Ask yourself what you need to release to make room for what God is preparing. Ask yourself where you have settled when God was calling you higher. Ask yourself how long you will allow the past to keep you from the blessings standing in front of your future. This is the challenge God places before you. Rise into alignment with the destiny He crafted for your heart. Rise into the confidence that comes when you know God is guiding your steps. Rise into the kind of faith that refuses to retreat into doubt, even when the road ahead is unfamiliar. Rise into the truth that you are being led, not lost, prepared, not punished, elevated, not abandoned. Let your heart draw closer to God in this season. Let your soul become sensitive to His guidance. Let your spirit become anchored in His wisdom. For when you walk closely with God, you begin to recognize what is meant for you, and you lose the desire to chase what was never aligned with your purpose. When you walk closely with God, you stop fighting battles He has already won for you. When you walk closely with God, you learn that love is not something you manufacture. It is something He reveals. Lift your head, straighten your spirit, strengthen your faith. God is not finished with your story. God is refining you for a love that carries peace, purpose, and a depth that only He could design. Step boldly into the life He is calling you toward. Release the weight of yesterday, embrace the promise of today, and walk forward knowing that God is leading you with intention, shaping you with purpose, and preparing you for a love that has already been written into your destiny.
My dear brothers, it is not a trivial thing to speak of what it means to be blessed by God. In our secular culture, blessing has become a light and often superficial term. We use it casually. Have a blessed day, we say, or I'm feeling blessed after some stroke of good fortune. But in the deep grammar of the scriptures and the spiritual tradition of the church, blessing is not mere luck. It is not equivalent to wealth or comfort. To be blessed by God is to be drawn into His purpose, to be touched by His grace, to be summoned to a life that participates in the divine drama. So today I want to speak directly, particularly to the men who find themselves navigating a world of uncertainty, spiritual confusion, and cultural noise. You are told 1,000 things about what manhood means: domination, control, bravado, or perhaps passive comfort and disengagement. But I want to take you on a more ancient path, a more rugged and radiant trail, one illuminated by the saints, the prophets, and the Christ who walked among us. I want to unfold for you not a checklist, but a series of signs, 8 luminous markers that indicate a man is truly, authentically, deeply blessed by God. These are not signs that would necessarily register on Wall Street or on a social media feed. They may not draw applause from the culture, but they register, I assure you, in the heart of God, in the communion of saints, and in the echo of eternity. And if you recognize these signs in your life, not perfectly, but even inchoately, then take heart, for the living God has placed His hand upon you. First sign, he has encountered the transcendent. A man blessed by God has experienced the presence of something, someone, far greater than himself. He has encountered what the mystics call the mysterium tremendum et fascinans, the terrifying yet fascinating mystery, whether in the hush of a cathedral, the cry of a newborn child, the crushing sorrow of grief, or the awe of nature. He is brushed against the veil of eternity. He knows he is not self-sufficient. He knows there is a force beyond time and space. And this encounter leaves a mark on him. Such a man begins to seek more. He is no longer satisfied with shallow pleasures or material gain. He wants truth, beauty, and goodness. He may not have language for it yet, but he has been awakened. And God always begins with awakening. Second sign, he becomes a seeker of truth. The man who has tasted transcendence begins to ask questions, and not trivial ones, but deep, burning questions about existence, purpose, morality, and destiny. He becomes a seeker, not of passing opinions, but of eternal truths. And this seeking demands humility, because the truly blessed man knows that truth is not invented but discovered. He listens, he reads, he prays. He does not reduce life to slogan. He seeks wisdom that is ancient, deep, and tested by time. This is where the spiritual life ignites, not with blind emotion, but with an ordered, reverent hunger for truth. And this is where God meets the man, not just as creator, but as teacher and friend. Third sign, he embraces responsibility. A blessed man stops making excuses. He no longer blames his past, his wounds, or his culture for his failures. He sees responsibility not as a burden, but as a sacred call. He understands that the image of God within him demands stewardship. Whether he is a father, a husband, a mentor, a worker, or a priest, he leans into the role entrusted to him. He understands that manhood is not about dominance, but about service. He is willing to sacrifice comfort to protect, to guide, to build. His posture is not passivity, but creative initiative. He reflects Christ, who bore the cross not out of guilt, but out of love. And let me be clear, this responsibility doesn't always come with applause. It is hard, often thankless, but it is noble. And it is through this embodied responsibility that the man discovers who he truly is. Fourth sign, he practices the discipline of prayer. One of the most consistent signs of God's blessing is the emergence of a life of prayer. Not just spontaneous or emotional prayer, though that has its place, but a regular disciplined practice of turning toward God. The blessed man prays when it's easy and when it's hard. He makes time for silence. He turns to Scripture. He seeks the sacraments. He listens. In a noisy, distracted age, he carves out a sacred stillness because he knows that the soul needs God like the body needs oxygen. And just as athletes train, the spiritual man practices the discipline of prayer, not for performance, but for intimacy with the one who made him. Fifth sign, he grows in virtue. Virtue is not a popular word today, but it is absolutely central to the spiritual life. A man blessed by God is not merely avoiding sin, he is growing in sanctity. He cultivates the cardinal virtues: prudence, justice, fortitude, and temperance, and the theological virtues: faith, hope, and charity. This growth does not happen by accident. It requires examination of conscience, confession, repentance, and intentional choices. It means saying no to laziness and yes to discipline, no to lust and yes to chastity, no to pride and yes to humility. He is not perfect, but he is growing. He desires to become a man whose character radiates goodness, not for his own glory, but for the glory of God. Sixth sign, he provokes resistance and inspires respect. Now, this may seem paradoxical, but it is one of the most telling signs. A truly blessed man stands out. His moral clarity makes the lukewarm uncomfortable. His integrity convicts those around him. His presence becomes a kind of living sermon, even without words. He may be criticized, mocked, even rejected by the world, but deep down people respect him. Why? Because he carries within him something rare, coherence. He is not fractured, not pretending. He is rooted, and his very life becomes a challenge and an invitation to others. This is not about arrogance. It's about being so aligned with the purpose of God that the light in him cannot help but shine even in the face of opposition. Seventh sign, he embraces suffering with redemptive courage. The man blessed by God does not live under the illusion that his journey will be easy. Rather, he recognizes that suffering is not merely a random affliction or a punishment, but a profound opportunity for participation in the redemptive mystery of Christ. He understands, as St. Paul teaches, that we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. Romans 5:3-4. This man does not seek out suffering for its own sake, nor does he numb or avoid it. Instead, he faces his trials squarely, offering them up in union with the cross. His courage is not mere stoicism. It is a profound spiritual fortitude that allows pain to be transformed into grace. When despair whispers lies of abandonment or futility, he clings to the promise that God's grace is sufficient. This redemptive embrace of suffering is a hallmark of authentic masculinity shaped by the gospel. It is the paradox that the path to true strength often runs through vulnerability and pain. The blessed man, therefore, has eyes to see his trials not as defeat, but as divine invitations to deeper union with God's will. Eighth sign, he radiates hope that transcends circumstances. Finally, a man truly blessed by God is distinguished by a hope that is not contingent on circumstances, possessions, or fleeting successes. This hope is rooted in the eternal promises of God and the resurrection of Christ. It is a hope that shines even in the darkest nights of the soul and the most daunting challenges of life. This is not naive optimism. It is a hope forged in the fires of experience and tested by doubt. It is a hope that cries out with the psalmist, "Why are you cast down, O my soul? And why are you in turmoil within me? Hope in God, for I shall again praise him, my salvation and my God." Psalm 42:11. The blessed man becomes a beacon to those around him, not because he boasts of certainty, but because his heart is anchored in the divine fidelity of God. His hope is contagious. It invites others out of despair and paralysis into the dynamism of faith and action. It proclaims that no matter what storms rage, the hand of God holds us fast. So, my friends, these 8 signs, encountering the transcendent, seeking truth, embracing responsibility, practicing prayer, growing in virtue, provoking resistance, yet inspiring respect, embracing suffering with redemptive courage, and radiating hope beyond circumstance, are more than abstract concepts. They are living realities that manifest in the life of a man blessed by God. This is the man who walks not according to the patterns of this world, but according to the Spirit. This is the man who is not conformed to fleeting culture, but transformed by the renewal of his mind and heart. This is the man who, through grace and perseverance, participates in the divine life and becomes a source of blessing to others. Brothers, as we linger on these profound signs, it is crucial to grasp the broader horizon within which they unfold. For to say a man is blessed by God is not merely to say he bears certain traits or habits. It is to affirm that he is engaged in a transformative pilgrimage, a journey not unlike that of the patriarchs, prophets, and apostles who have gone before us. This journey is a call to participate in the very life of God, a life marked by self-transcendence, communion, and mission. Consider for a moment the nature of blessing itself. In the biblical imagination, blessing is not a static attribute, but a dynamic reality. Baraka in Hebrew, meaning to pour out or to kneel, conveying the idea that blessing is both an outpouring of divine favor and a posture of humble receptivity. The man blessed by God is simultaneously one who receives and one who gives, a conduit of grace, a vessel through which God's generosity flows into the world. This dual movement challenges the individualistic ethos so prevalent in our time. Blessing demands relationship with God, with others, and with creation. Let us then explore further dimensions of this blessing, beginning with the profound tension of freedom and obedience. A man blessed by God is not shackled by external commands, but liberated by them. He discovers that true freedom is found not in self-will, but in surrender to the divine will. This paradox echoes the teaching of St. Augustine. You have made us for yourself, O Lord, and our heart is restless until it rests in you. This restlessness, this holy disquiet, drives the blessed man beyond mere conformity to a deeper fidelity. He embraces the disciplines and demands of the spiritual life, not as burdens, but as pathways to freedom. This is not a naive submission, but a reasoned assent rooted in love, a love that respects the truth about human nature and divine purpose. The man blessed by God recognizes that authentic autonomy is found precisely in harmony with the Logos, the Word, who is Christ. Such a realization profoundly reorients his understanding of power. In a culture obsessed with domination and control, the blessed man's power is paradoxical. It is power through weakness, authority through service. He models Christ, who did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. Mark 10:45. This power is not coercive, but redemptive. It builds up rather than tears down. It manifests in patience, gentleness, and the courage to stand firm amid opposition without resorting to violence or manipulation. This leads us to another critical dimension. The man blessed by God cultivates a keen discernment, a spiritual and intellectual acuity that navigates the complexities of life with wisdom. Discernment is not mere cleverness or pragmatism. It is a gift and a task to perceive the movement of the Spirit in the mundane and the monumental. It involves an attentiveness to signs, both divine and human, a capacity to read the signs of the times, Matthew 16:3, in light of the gospel. Discernment also requires a willingness to wrestle with ambiguity and uncertainty. The blessed man does not demand easy answers or reductionist solutions. He dwells in the mystery with patience and trust, recognizing that God's providence often unfolds in ways inscrutable to human understanding. This intellectual humility guards against both cynicism and naivete. It grounds the man in a thoughtful faith, capable of engaging the world's challenges with both conviction and openness. Moreover, the man blessed by God cultivates a profound solidarity with the marginalized and suffering. This solidarity is not a sentimental gesture, but a deep identification rooted in the incarnation itself. The Word became flesh and dwelt among us, entering into the vulnerability and frailty of human existence. To be blessed is to bear witness to this truth by standing with the oppressed, the poor, and the outcast. Such solidarity is not optional or peripheral. It is central to Christian manhood. It calls the blessed man beyond self-interest to a horizon of justice and mercy. He understands that his blessing entails a responsibility to be an agent of reconciliation, healing divisions between races, classes, and nations. His mission is to embody the kingdom of God, where justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. Amos. In this context, the cultivation of hope takes on renewed significance. The man blessed by God is not merely hopeful in a general sense, but anchored in the eschatological hope that permeates Christian theology. This hope looks beyond the present world's fractures and injustices to the promise of a new heaven and new earth. It imbues his actions with a sense of eternal perspective and urgency. Such hope is a radical stance in the face of despair, cynicism, and nihilism. It is a refusal to capitulate to the false gods of materialism, secularism, or technocracy. The blessed man's hope is contagious because it is grounded not in human capacity alone, but in the faithfulness of God who makes all things new. Revelation 21:5. This hope compels him to build, to create, to love, and to persevere, confident that his labor is not in vain. Yet, all of these dimensions, the encounter with transcendence, the pursuit of truth, the embrace of responsibility, the discipline of prayer, the growth in virtue, the courage in suffering, the radiance of hope, are integrated into a singular reality. The man blessed by God is a man in community. Christianity is not a solitary faith. It is a communal faith rooted in the body of Christ. The blessed man is never an island unto himself. He is called to be a living member of the church, a participant in the sacramental life, a brother in fraternity. This communal dimension nourishes and sustains him. It corrects his errors and celebrates his growth. The man blessed by God therefore exhibits humility, a recognition that he is both sinner and saint, called and limited, both teacher and learner. Humility opens his heart to the grace that transforms and the community that supports. It guards against pride and isolation, inviting him into the dance of love that defines the Trinity itself. This communal life also shapes his mission in the world. The man blessed by God is sent. He is an ambassador of the gospel, a witness to the truth, a bearer of light. His life is a living apologetic, an argument for the reality of God's kingdom, not merely through words, but through deeds of love, justice, and mercy. This mission demands courage and creativity. It requires engagement with the culture, not retreat. The blessed man does not disdain the world, but loves it with a passion that reflects the heart of Christ. He seeks to transform society's structures through the leaven of the gospel, advancing the cause of human dignity, freedom, and peace. Let us then reflect on the implications of this for the crises and challenges that confront men today. In a world riven by fragmentation, relativism, and moral confusion, the signs of a man blessed by God become beacons of clarity and hope. They invite a new masculinity, one not defined by domination or nihilism, but by fidelity, service, and transcendence. This new masculinity calls men to a radical interiority, to an embrace of the spiritual disciplines that cultivate the soul. It invites men to intellectual engagement with the faith, to resist both anti-intellectualism and facile answers. It summons them to live sacrificially, to bear crosses, both personal and communal, with grace and fortitude. It also calls men to a renewed appreciation for beauty and art, which serve as windows to the divine. The blessed man is not merely functional or pragmatic. He is a lover of poetry, music, and the sacred traditions that nourish the soul. Through this aesthetic sensibility, he glimpses the harmony and order of creation and the promise of its restoration. In this light, fatherhood and mentorship emerge as crucial vocations. The man blessed by God invests in the formation of the next generation, not merely providing material support, but transmitting faith, virtue, and wisdom. He models a life of integrity and service, recognizing that the future of the church and society depends on such witness. We must also consider the role of friendship in this journey. Authentic friendship among men is a rare and precious gift, offering mutual support, accountability, and encouragement. Such friendships become a school of virtue, where men sharpen one another in love and truth. The blessed man cultivates these bonds, understanding that no one journeys alone. As we contemplate these rich dimensions, we begin to see the manifold tapestry that constitutes a man blessed by God. It is a tapestry woven with threads of grace and freedom, humility and courage, contemplation and action, suffering and hope, community and mission. It is a tapestry not completed in a day, but unfolded over a lifetime, marked by continual conversion and growth. The journey is arduous, requiring vigilance against the temptations of pride, despair, and complacency. Yet it is also filled with joy, peace, and the profound satisfaction of living in accordance with one's true nature as a son of God. So I urge you, brothers, to take these signs not as mere ideals, but as invitations, calls to deeper engagement with the mystery of God and the vocation of manhood. Reflect on where you stand in this journey. Open your heart to the grace that beckons you onward. Seek the support of the church and your brothers. Embrace the disciplines that shape the soul. Trust in the providence of God who walks with you. For in this pilgrimage you are never alone. The same Spirit who animated the saints is alive within you. The same Christ who conquered death calls you by name. The same Father who knows you intimately has marked you as his own. And so, let this reflection ignite a renewed resolve to embody these signs in your daily life. To be a man blessed by God is to be a man on fire with love. For God, for neighbor, for truth, and for the world. It is to be a living witness that in the midst of darkness, God's light shines ever brighter. May this awareness deepen your commitment to walk humbly yet boldly, to suffer patiently yet courageously, to hope fervently yet realistically, and to love generously yet discerningly. The manifold wisdom of God guide your steps, the peace of Christ guard your heart, and the fire of the Holy Spirit kindle your soul. In this sacred endeavor, may you find your true greatness, not in accolades or achievements, but in the simple, profound grace of being a man, truly blessed by God. As we delve even deeper into this sacred exploration, it becomes imperative to reflect on the profound relationship between identity and mission in the life of a man blessed by God. There is a temptation, particularly in contemporary culture, to sever who we are from what we do, to imagine that identity is a private matter insulated from public responsibility or communal engagement. Yet the Christian tradition resolutely affirms that identity and mission are inseparable, each informing and enriching the other in a dynamic interplay. The man blessed by God understands that his identity is not self-constructed, nor simply inherited from culture or biology, but is received as a gift, an ontological reality rooted in divine filiation. He is, above all, a son of the Father, claimed and called by name. This filiation is not an abstract theological concept, but the wellspring of his dignity and purpose. In the Gospel according to John, Jesus assures us, "See what love the Father has given us, that we should be called children of God, and so we are." 1 John 3:1. To be called a child of God is to be invited into an intimate communion, a shared life with the divine. From this identity springs forth mission. The man blessed by God does not live for himself alone, but is commissioned to bear witness to the kingdom. His life is a sacrament, an outward sign of inward grace through which the world glimpses the presence and action of God. This mission is incarnational. It takes flesh in the ordinary circumstances of work, family, friendship, and civic engagement. It refuses the dichotomy between sacred and secular, for every aspect of life becomes a canvas upon which the divine masterpiece is painted. It is precisely in this ordinary context that the man blessed by God exercises the virtue of prudence, the charioteer of the virtues, as the Fathers describe it. And prudence is not mere practical wisdom, but the capacity to discern rightly the good in concrete situations and to choose the means suited to its attainment. It involves an intricate balancing act, holding in tension faith and reason, hope and realism, mercy and justice. This balance is particularly crucial in our times, marked by rapid change, cultural fragmentation, and a pervasive sense of uncertainty. The man blessed by God does not succumb to ideological rigidity or naive optimism. Rather, he embodies a mature realism, informed by the hope of the resurrection. He engages culture critically, embracing what is true and good while contesting what is false and harmful. In this engagement, the intellectual life assumes a paramount importance. The man blessed by God cultivates a robust intellect, not merely for personal edification, but as a tool of evangelization and cultural renewal. He seeks to integrate faith and reason, aware that the Christian tradition is a faith-seeking understanding, a journey toward truth that honors both revelation and human inquiry. This intellectual cultivation requires a commitment to ongoing formation, reading deeply the scriptures, the fathers, the great theologians, and contemporary thinkers. It demands a certain intellectual humility, a recognition that no one holds a monopoly on truth, but that truth itself is objective and transcendent. It calls the man to resist both fideism and secular scientism, standing instead in the tradition of a reason illuminated by faith. Beyond intellect, the man blessed by God embraces the formative power of silence and contemplation. In a world saturated with noise and distraction, he guards moments of solitude to listen attentively to the whisper of the Spirit. This contemplative dimension is not an escape from reality, but a deeper engagement with it, a return to the source from which all meaning flows. Such contemplation nurtures a profound inner freedom. The man blessed by God is not captive to passions, fears, or the approval of others. He is anchored in the eternal, able to face trials and setbacks with equanimity. This freedom does not render him aloof or indifferent, but equips him to love more fully, act more decisively, and witness more authentically. In tandem with this inner freedom is the virtue of fortitude. The man blessed by God stands firm amid the storms of life, fortified by grace and resolute in hope. He embraces suffering as a participation in Christ's own passion, recognizing that through suffering the soul is purified and strengthened. This is no masochistic embrace of pain, but a courageous acceptance of life's inevitable trials in the service of a greater good. Fortitude also manifests in the daily struggles of fidelity, the patience to persevere in prayer, the humility to seek forgiveness, the discipline to pursue virtue despite fatigue and temptation. It is the backbone of spiritual maturity, the quality that transforms adversity into a source of growth. Let us now consider the role of gratitude as a hallmark of the man blessed by God. Gratitude is more than a polite acknowledgement. It is a fundamental posture of the heart that recognizes every good as a gift. It opens the eyes to the divine presence woven into the fabric of creation and history. Gratitude shapes the man's relationship with time and history. He sees his life as a link in the great chain of salvation history, a participant in a divine drama that stretches from creation to consummation. This historical consciousness fosters humility and hope as he stands simultaneously as a recipient of countless blessings and a steward charged with passing them on. In this perspective, the man blessed by God understands the significance of vocation not merely as a career or role, but as a calling that encompasses all dimensions of life. He discerns how his particular gifts and circumstances fit into God's providential plan, and he responds with generosity and joy. Furthermore, the man blessed by God embraces the mystery of the cross as central to his existence. The cross is not merely a symbol of suffering, but the definitive revelation of God's love. In it, power is redefined as self-giving, and victory is won through apparent defeat. This embrace transforms the man's relationship to power, success, and achievement. He is liberated from the tyranny of worldly standards and seeks instead the approval of God. This does not negate ambition or excellence, but reorients them toward eternal values. The man blessed by God aspires to greatness, defined by virtue, service, and love, rather than fame or fortune. Moreover, the man blessed by God participates in the liturgical life of the church with intentionality and devotion. The sacraments are not mere rituals, but encounters with Christ himself, nourishing and strengthening the soul. The Eucharist in particular is the source and summit of his spiritual life, a profound communion that unites him with the body of Christ and empowers his mission. Through prayer and sacramental grace, he is continuously formed and sustained, his heart molded into the image of Christ. This liturgical rhythm anchors his days, providing stability amid chaos and orientation amid ambiguity. Finally, the man blessed by God exemplifies a spirituality of joy, a joy that transcends circumstances and is rooted in the abiding presence of God. This joy is contagious, a luminous witness that draws others toward the truth. It is a joy born of confidence in God's fidelity and the promise of salvation. In this joy, all virtues find their harmony. It energizes patience, softens justice with mercy, deepens humility, and inspires hope. It is the unmistakable mark of one who has tasted the sweetness of divine love and longs to share it generously. Brothers, as we continue this journey of reflection, it is essential to recognize that these signs are not exhaustive, but rather points of departure, openings into the vast mystery of God's blessing. Each man's path will be unique, shaped by grace, history, and personal vocation. Yet the patterns we have discerned serve as a compass, guiding toward a life of authenticity, holiness, and fruitfulness. In embracing these signs, the man blessed by God does not merely seek personal sanctity, but participates in the renewal of the world. He becomes a bridge between heaven and earth, a witness to the transformative power of divine love amid the shadows of our age. May this vision inspire a profound commitment to the arduous yet exhilarating path of Christian manhood, a path that leads not only to fulfillment, but to glory, glory rooted in the cross and radiating the resurrection. And so, dear brothers, as we stand together at this moment of reflection, we find ourselves invited not simply to admire a set of abstract qualities or to catalog a checklist of virtues, but to enter into a living, breathing reality, the blessedness of a man shaped and sustained by God's own hand. This blessedness is no mere accolade or reward for human achievement. Rather, it is the unfolding of a divine mystery, a mystery in which God calls each man to participate in the very life of the Trinity, to become a sharer in the eternal communion of love. We have journeyed through the signs that mark such a man: his rootedness in divine filiation, his integration of intellect and faith, his courageous embrace of suffering, his disciplined pursuit of virtue, and his radiant joy grounded in gratitude and hope. These are not isolated traits, but facets of a singular, luminous identity. They form a mosaic of holiness, a testament to what it means to be truly alive in Christ. Yet, as profound as these truths are, they are also a summons. The God who calls us into blessedness does not leave us where we are. He beckons us onward, deeper into transformation. It is a call to conversion, a turning of the heart from the self toward the other, from the temporal to the eternal, from despair to hope. It is a call that demands courage and humility, effort and surrender. In this call, we must confront the shadows within and without, the doubts that assail us, the wounds that scar us, the temptations that ensnare us. But let us not be dismayed, for the presence of God is not a distant ideal, but a near and tender reality. The Spirit who raised Christ from the dead dwells within us, empowering us to rise above every obstacle, to transcend every limitation. This is the great paradox of Christian manhood: strength born of vulnerability, victory born of surrender, freedom found in obedience. It is a paradox that echoes the very heart of the gospel, where the cross becomes the gateway to resurrection, and death itself is swallowed up in life. As you leave this place, carry with you this truth: you are more than the sum of your failures and fears. You are called, chosen, and cherished by a God who delights in you. Your life has meaning that no power on earth can diminish, a dignity that no judgment can erase. Walk forth then with a soul aflame, a soul anchored in the certainty that you are blessed beyond measure. Let your steps echo the rhythm of divine grace. Your actions reflect the light of divine love, and your words resound with the courage of divine truth. In a world often bereft of meaning and hope, be the man who radiates the presence of God. Be the man whose life testifies that blessing is not reserved for the few, but poured out generously upon those who open their hearts to receive it. And in the silence that follows these words, may your spirit be stirred, your mind awakened, and your heart set ablaze. For the journey of blessedness is not an end, but a beginning that leads to the fullness of life in Christ, the source of every good and perfect gift. Stand firm in this truth, and may the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus.